What's good, gang? Today we're going to be doing a different type of video. We're going to be doing a prediction video on Katakuri, who is set to release this Friday in the next update for Anime Showdown. But before we get into that, I got a new code for y'all in the game. It's called Sorry for Shutdown 2 in all caps. It's going to be up for 24 hours, so y'all better claim it as fast as possible. Also, I just want to say thank y'all for almost 10 subs. We're really climbing up. We up next, on God. Just to get things started, we have Katakuri's first ability, which they already sneak peeked in the Discord, which is Mochi Thrust. And what this move does is that Katakuri uses his Mochi Mochi no Mi to wind up his spear in order to create a piercing whirlwind. I'm gonna bet that it breaks super armor and breaks hyper armor. In the sneak peek video, we see that the tip of the move is highlighted in a red tone, similarly to Ippo's Gazelle Punch, which allows him to break not only super armor based moves but hyper armor as well. Moving on to the second ability that's already pretty much been confirmed in the sneak peeks on the Discord, which is going to be Birdline Mochi. And what this move does is that it allows Katakuri to transform his arm into a vine-like Mochi state so that he's able to grab an enemy and slam them directly into the ground. I'm willing to bet that Katakuri is able to use it as a combo extender, similarly to how Jotaro is able to use his full power slam as a combo extender, which also is able to go through super armor and hyper armor. The only nitpick that I have with this move is that the range is kinda but I think it's pretty valid, seeing as though you get a full-on combo extender with it. And now for the last two moves for his base kit. These are just highly speculation, so if I'm right, then hey, I might gotta slide me a code, I ain't gonna lie. But for his third ability, it would be Mochi Blade Bullet. What this move does is that it allows Katakuri to use his finger as a gun, which gives him the ability to shoot his Mochi as if they were actual bullet rounds. I feel like this move would be really good for him, seeing as though a lot of his moves so far are like very close range, like you have to be in their face. Like, what are you gonna do if someone runs away from you for the whole match? I feel as though if he gets this type of move in his base kit, he would be really hard to deal with in terms of long range and short range. I feel like with Mochi Blade Bullet, it should definitely have like fall off on it, so like the further you are away from it, it does less damage. However, I feel like the range should definitely be a lot farther too, so that the enemy just isn't able to just camp in the back and build up their meter and reset all their cooldowns. Now for his last ability in his base kit, which is going to be Edged Mochi. What this move does is that it allows Katakuri to coat his arm in Mochi Enhanced Haki, also known as Armament Haki, so that he's able to harden his fist so that he can increase the amount of physical damage that he can inflict onto an enemy. With this being his fourth ability, I feel as though they can make this fairly unique by making this his counter, since in the anime after Luffy and Katakuri clash fists, he uses his Observation Haki in order to gain an upper hand against Luffy, which allows him to not only dodge Luffy's punch but also give him time to get a punch in as well. I feel like this move shouldn't do too much damage, seeing as though someone could just easily spam the counter over and over again until they have Awakening. I feel like this move would only be really good against like newer players who always try to mash on Wake Up. However, let's say you're in the higher ranks of the game and you're going against a more experienced player, I doubt they're going to fall for it as much, but I still think it'd be a very viable option to use in his kit. Seeing that his base kit is already fairly strong as is, I don't think that he deserves or needs like more than 4 skills at a time in his Awakening. As for when he awakens, I'm willing to bet my entire future generation of kids that his left eye will begin to glow as it does in another famous One Piece game that we're all familiar with. Shit piece, grand ass. And for how his outfit will look, I'm gonna bet that it's gonna be a bit damaged, or it's gonna show like bits of blood on him from when he was fighting Luffy. Now I know that having 3 moves in Awakening sounds a little strange, but just hear me out. Everyone who's knowledgeable about One Piece should know what Observation Haki is, so some of you might see where I'm going with this. During the Whole Cake Island arc, and particularly the fight between Luffy versus Katakuri, we see that Katakuri uses Observation Haki in order to have an advantage over his opponent Luffy, otherwise to evade or to just straight up dodge fatal injuries. In my prediction for this skill, I feel as though this should definitely be a free evasive / counter based move. For example, it could be usable if someone is comboing you to death, or if you know your opponent is going to mash immediately on Wake Up so you could just punish them, similarly to how he has a counter in his base. In order to make this fair or even possible in the game, I believe it should use the current evasive bar in the game if you were to use it, instead of just having a separate one, since I can already picture how cracked this would be if you're able to have 2 evasives at once during a match. Hypothetically, the only way I see this being a thing in the game is if you could expend some of your move meter instead of using the evasive bar, but it should definitely use about half of your meter if this is the case, because imagine if you were able to activate this move several times in a match, you would be virtually untouchable. I believe that the move should have a very quick startup time, however it should have a very long or moderate cooldown cycle, so that your opponents can actually punish you for the mistakes you make in the match. So in the video, I forget to mention the second ability, which would have been Mochi Blade Bullet or Unstoppable Mochi Blade Bullet. It literally just would have been a minigun type of ability. It would have still had fall off, but the startup would have been a little slower, but the range would have been way out of this world. It would have been crazy. but I forgot to record that. That's on me. I'll try to be more mindful of that next time, but I'm gonna continue on with the video. Now for his final move in his awakening state, which is gonna be Buzz Cut Mochi. In my opinion, this would hands down be Katakuri's strongest move in his kit, due to it being a one-shot move that not only goes to super armor but as well as hyper armor. The only downsides I see with this move is that the startup would be fairly slow, but over time the speed at which you spin would increase along with the grab range as well. If you were to somehow whiff this move, then you'd be booted straight out of your awakening state. Given the base kit that you'd have access to, it wouldn't be that hard to probably build back up into your awakening. As for the animation that would play if you were to land this move, it would be the same animation that you see in the anime that Katakuri does against Luffy. In terms of cosmetics for Katakuri, I'm not sure on how that would look, but if you guys have any ideas about that, I would love to see y'all talk about it in the comments. I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this video. This took quite a bit to record and edit. Now that we're nearing the end of this video, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I kind of want to do more content like this where I just do predictions for characters that haven't come out yet, but let me know if y'all want to see more of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like, leave a comment, and let me know down in the comments what else would you want to see on this channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.